You want to know how to never get angry? Stop trying to control your anger. That's the trap. Someone says something, you feel that heat, that tightening in your chest, and then you start fighting yourself. Don't react. Be calm. Let it go. The more you fight it, the angrier you get. Because now you're angry at two people, them, and yourself for being angry. I used to think the goal was to become someone who just doesn't feel it anymore. Someone above it all. Someone who meditates their way through disrespect. That's not how it works. So let me show you something different. Something that actually changed how I move through the world. And I'm not going to tell you to breathe deeply or count to 10. You've already tried that. It didn't work. Everyone thinks we get angry because of what other people do. That's the surface story. You get angry because you're waiting for someone else to protect you. When a stranger cuts you off in traffic, you get furious. Not because you're in danger, because you can't do anything about it. You're stuck, helpless, at their mercy. That feeling of helplessness triggers the anger. The person who annoys you most, they're making you feel powerless. Your anger is your brain's emergency response to feeling trapped. That powerlessness is a choice you made without realizing it. You decided this person's opinion matters. You decided their treatment of you measures your worth. You decided to need something from them. The moment you need someone else to give you what you should be giving yourself, you become their emotional hostage. That's why you can't let it go. You've outsourced your validation. The person holding it doesn't even know they have it. The part of you that gets furious, it's not the adult you, it's the child you. The child who needed approval, who needed to be seen, who needed to feel safe and valued. When someone dismisses you, that child wakes up. They're scared. They're angry. They're desperately trying to get someone to finally acknowledge them. That's why you obsess over the conversation later, replaying it, thinking about what you should have said. It's the child inside trying to prove they matter. That child never got what they needed. Not from your parents, not from your teachers, not from your friends. Now you're walking around as an adult, still hoping someone will finally give you that validation. Someone will finally make you feel safe. When someone doesn't give it to you, when they reject you, dismiss you, ignore you, it's not just a slight, it's an old wound. It hurts like it just happened yesterday. You're not angry at them. You're grieving what you never got. They're just standing in the way. What happens when you stop needing it? Not pretend you don't need it. Actually don't need it. Not suppressing the feeling. Giving yourself what you've been asking other people for. You want approval? Approve of yourself. You want to feel seen? See yourself. You want safety? Create it inside yourself. This sounds like self-help nonsense. Let me tell you what it actually looks like. Being disappointed in someone and not needing them to apologize for you to be okay. Being rejected and not needing them to change their mind for you to feel worthy. Being disrespected and not needing them to respect you for you to know your worth. You stop being angry at people who can't give you what you should be giving yourself. Most people get stuck here. They think giving yourself validation means convincing yourself you're amazing. It means accepting that you're enough without needing external confirmation. That's the shift. That's the one that actually frees you. There's a superpower nobody talks about, the most useful thing you can develop, the power to make people invisible to your emotional system. When someone speaks, you don't have to accept their words as data about you. You can just observe that they're speaking, without absorbing it. If a bird lands on your windowsill and chirps, you don't analyze the chirp. You don't wonder what the chirp says about you. It's just a sound. Imagine you could do that with people. They're just making sounds based on their own internal state, their fears, their insecurities, their unresolved garbage. It's not about you. It was never about you. This is the difference between someone who's truly unbothered and someone who's just pretending. The unbothered person doesn't deflect the energy. They just don't register it as relevant. Your emotional system is a receiver. You get to decide what stations you tune into. When someone is difficult, they're carrying a need they can't fill themselves, so they project it outward. They criticize, they control, they dismiss. You're standing there, absorbing that projection, reacting to it. That need is not your responsibility, it's theirs. You don't have to satisfy someone else's emptiness. You don't have to fix someone else's insecurity. You don't have to be the answer to someone else's unhealed wound. The moment you realize you're not responsible for other people's inner worlds, you stop taking their behavior personally. They're angry? That's their anger. They're dismissive? That's their defense mechanism. They're trying to make you feel small? That's because they feel small. You don't have to absorb any of it. You can just see it for what it is. A person struggling, a person you can't fix, a person who's showing you who they are. That has nothing to do with who you are. There's a decision you have to make, over and over, in every interaction, with every person. Are you going to let other people's internal chaos become your internal chaos? Most people don't even realize they have a choice. They just absorb everything, emotional sponges, soaking up whatever's around them. You can be something else. Water doesn't absorb anything, it just lets things pass through. The goal isn't to never feel anything, it's to choose what you let in and what you let go. That's the decision, that's the practice, that's the freedom. Once you start making that decision, you realize something. You were never at anyone's mercy, you just forgot you had a choice. The person who angers you, they don't know you, not really. They know their version of you, their projection, their assumptions. You've been fighting their version of you, defending yourself against someone who's not even seeing you. Stop fighting shadows. You know who you are. That's enough. That's always been enough. The people who matter will see you. The rest are just passing through. You don't need to convince anyone. You just need to stop needing them to see you. The ones who can't see you were never looking.